Newsflash, you don't need to be a tech genius to make a great website. You actually might be better off if you're not a tech genius because great websites aren't about fancy tech. They're built on simple human principles. And in this video, I'm going to share those principles. Starting with this.
Be human.
Don't use stock photos to make yourself seem bigger than you are.
Lose the ultra-modern office photo, the fake customer support photo, the perfectly staged warehouse pic.
Everyone can see through the bluff. Instead, lean into your smallness and humanness. It's your advantage.
People trust humans, not corporations, so put yourself out there. Smile, look friendly, and maybe even have a little fun.
All websites need a goal. Your visitor is here to accomplish something. Here's a shortcut to finding the goal of any website. Look in the top right corner.
Barbershops want you to book an appointment. Landscapers want you to get a quote. Restaurants want you to make a reservation. Charities want you to make a donation.
Choose a goal for your website and then make it super easy for visitors to accomplish that goal. This is the golden rule of web design. Don't make people think in order to use your website.
Like, look at this website. Can you spot the navigation? Seriously, look, it's up here. The photo kind of hides it. Don't make me think in order to navigate. This is actually my favorite restaurant in Toronto, but the navigation is just icons, so you have to hover each one to see what it is, and you can never see them all open at once. I know why they're doing this. The restaurant is named after a subway station, so this is sort of an homage to a subway map, but that's just not a good enough reason.
Branding should never come at the cost of clarity.
Here's another website. These are cool illustrations, but what I'm looking at is the letter spacing in the navigation. Super hard to read. Let's see if we can fix it. Much better. Don't make your visitors think.
You don't need to reinvent the wheel. This is especially true when it comes to your website navigation. Just be conventional.
It does not matter if you're Apple, Charity Water, or just the cafe down the street. Navigation should be consistent. Logo on the left, buttons on the right, and navigation somewhere in the middle.
Even if your visitor has never been to your site before, they should intuitively know how to navigate it.
Think of navigation like elevator buttons. Every elevator has buttons in the same place. That way, when you enter an elevator, you know exactly where the buttons will be.
All right, here's what I mean with this one. Every website on the internet was built with a tool or some kind of framework. Try to find a tool that matches your website. Let me show you how.
We can bucket all web design tools into these 4 categories. It's a bit simplistic, but it's kind of broadly true. Within each category, there are hundreds of tools, but here's a few. Frameworks and static site generators require coding. A CMS might require some coding. A website builder requires no coding. And so they run from challenging to easy to use.
So the trick is to match your project to the right tool.
Like my mom is a therapist, and I'm rebuilding her website right now. I could custom code her website with a framework. Am I doing that? No, I'm just using a website builder for her website. Custom coding would be overkill. Now, if I was building a social network like Facebook.com, I'd want to custom code it with a framework. You can't build a social network with a website builder.
At least this is my approach. I use website builders all the time. Like Squarespace is my favorite right now. I used it for my band's website, my mom's website, and my YouTube channel. I've linked to Squarespace and other website builders in the video description below. Squarespace is the best all-around website builder. Shopify is what I use for e-commerce stores, and Webflow has a steep learning curve, but it's highly customizable. And I should say, these are affiliate links, but this video is not sponsored by any of these companies. AI is everywhere. And there's this new crop of AI website tools. You might have heard of a few of them. Lovable, Replit, Bolt, but you should avoid them. I think you should avoid all of them.
Here's how they work. You write prompts and they generate or edit your website. Sounds easy, right?
Well, I just finished testing 20 of these tools in my last video and they are super slow and super unreliable. Let me demonstrate.
Here we are in Bolt and I just want to change this photo. So let's select it and say replace with this photo, and we select the photo and we're off. It's thinking, still thinking. We're gonna fast forward because it took 30 seconds to replace our photo. Or wait, no, that's the photo I asked for. So where did they get this photo from? I was trying to highlight how long these prompts take, but they also just don't work sometimes. Let's try another AI tool. This one is Lovable, and I want to replace this photo. It's a bit easier in Lovable. No prompt necessary. We can just upload a new photo. But I kind of like how previously it was just the coach centered, kind of like a portrait. And that requires a prompt. And we wait. After 33 seconds, it's done, but now the photo just disappeared. What?
I'm cherry picking my examples a bit here, but the fact is, when I tested these AI tools, this kind of thing happened a lot.
For now, I'd just stick with a normal website builder like Squarespace that has drag and drop. It's much faster and more reliable than these AI website builders. So does this all mean you should avoid AI entirely? Well,
AI is here and it's changed how we build websites. I wouldn't use a pure AI tool, but don't be afraid to use AI where it makes sense.
like if I'm writing product descriptions for my online store, I'll just throw the basics into ChatGPT and it will write a product description for me.
I might edit this and change it, but it gives me a great starting point.
Or like I mentioned, I'm redesigning my mom's website, right? I did dump all her copywriting into ChatGPT and asked it to reorganize it, and it spotted some really smart improvements.
And of course, AI can help with photo editing too.
Like this is an app that was advertised to me on Instagram. I've never used it, but it strikes me as a super useful way of taking your photos and turning them into product photos.
We're still shaking out where AI is helpful and useful, so experiment and see what works for you. Okay, don't talk about yourself. Instead, talk to your audience. What do they want? What are they worried about?
On my mom's therapy website, she has a page called What to Expect. I think that's really smart. Going to therapy is intimidating. This makes it a little less intimidating. Or this is an online store selling baby food. So they have these objection busters, basically quick points that address the audience's fears and objections. Remember these carpet cleaners? Well, they have an FAQ page which answers what I imagine are pretty common questions like, how long does it take for the carpet to dry?
This isn't rocket science, it's just understanding your audience and writing towards them. A sign you're doing this well is if you're using a lot of you instead of I in your copywriting.
Like, let's turn your website visitors into dream clients.
Visitors will scan your website. They're not going to read blocks of paragraphs, so be short and memorable.
I love how Lizzie summarizes herself in just 6 words. That's amazing. Imagine her website looked like this. No one would read it. Ah, this is so good. Freshly churned every day. They've told you a story in just 4 words.
They could have said fresh ingredients or made fresh daily, but we've heard those phrases 100 times.
Freshly churned every day? That's memorable. Here's another restaurant. At Caroline's Seaside Cafe, we believe in taking the time to prepare all our food with love and care. Prepare our food with love and care. It's just a bit cliche. It doesn't really mean anything. It's kind of just feels empty. Made with care. Yeah, again, this also just feels sort of uninteresting and meaningless, kind of. Wheatless and meatless. Oh, that's good. We all know the terms gluten-free and vegetarian, but they've said that in a more refreshing and memorable way. The coalescence of old world culinary techniques and contemporary style. This is long and just not particularly memorable. And in fact, I'm honestly not even sure what it means. Sorry. Making a personal website? Try to include a short description on the homepage. Something that just says who you are and what you do.
It's always better to show a visitor rather than tell them. Like, let's look at some restaurant websites to really understand this.
This is great. This cafe has an amazing patio, so they have a huge photo of it on their homepage. Great restaurant websites show off the space. These photos are just a nice way to sell the experience of the restaurant.
But not every restaurant website does this.
Like here in Toronto, we have the CN Tower, and at the top of the tower is this restaurant. But the restaurant website kills me. It has one small picture, and it doesn't even really emphasize the view. This whole page should just be a picture of the view. That's the whole selling point of the restaurant.
To talk about colors and style, let's take a field trip to the mall.
According to the stock photos I found, malls are where teens hang out, unusually cool old people go shopping, and couples pose awkwardly in elevators. What's interesting about malls is all the stores are the same shape, long rectangles. And so it's up to the store's entrance to grab the attention of people walking by. Look at how different each storefront looks. There's a reason Apple is tidy and minimalist, while Toys R Us is loud and colorful.
The same principles apply to websites.
Building an art portfolio, you might go for a minimalist vibe. Lots of white space and room for big photos. Building a food website, you might go for something colorful and bright, and you might even use some louder fonts.
And you can get pretty subtle with color and style.
This website has the softest green background. It just adds a hint of personality. Let's change the background to pure white, and then back again. Even subtle colors like this can just shift the vibe.
If there is a secret to web design, it's this: iteration. Don't expect to sit down and design your website perfectly on the first try. Even the best web designers can't do that. They try things and they iterate.
Like, here's the homepage on my website. It's pretty good. Not my best work, but pretty good. Here's all the iterations I went through to get to this design. You can see me begin to figure out the design as I go. Here's the homepage for Atlas, an app I co-founded. Watch how I've iterated on the design over the last 5 years.
Web design is a constant process of iteration. Now, our next principle might kind of contradict this. So yeah, web design takes iteration, but that's no excuse to spend months on your website. Because here's the thing: tinkering with your website is almost always a waste of time early in a business. If you're waiting for your website to be perfect, you've probably spent too much time on it. Remember, your website is not a work of art. It's here to accomplish a goal for you. Your website obviously needs to look good on mobile devices these days. I'm not going to talk much more about this, other than just to remind you it's hugely important.
Especially in industries like restaurants, where 75% of traffic is from mobile devices.
You really don't have to be a tech genius to build a website today. In fact, many of the websites in this video were self-built.
Like this website. Let's take a look at the code, and yeah, I can see it was built with Squarespace.
If you want to try Squarespace, there's a link in the video description, along with a few other website builders that I currently am using myself. These are affiliate links, but this video is not sponsored by any company. I just wanted to show that great websites aren't mysterious or out of reach. They're built on simple human principles that we can all understand. Thanks for watching.